Welcome back to CityLine. With me are two individuals that have brought forward a need in our city that I believe was not spoken of and was not named until one of them got a hold of me and tracked me down. And when you hear what they do, you will understand why they are on the comfy couch. Please join me from Dad's Move Family Support. Nelson Raskin, you are the Executive Director of Dad's Move. Welcome to CityLine.
Thank you.
You brought with you this lovely man, and he was the one who tracked me down, and then he pulled you in. Brian Jeffers Atkins, you are a peer support provider for Dad's Move. Welcome to CityLine.
Thank you.
It's so great to have both of you here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, first question, Mr. Nelson. Why or when, actually let's go with when first. When did Dad's Move start?
2011.
So you've got your feet wet. You're going. You got some momentum now. Because
Yes.
we're at 2023, so this didn't start last week.
No.
No. And why? Why did it start? What was the aha moment that you had, Nelson, when you went, wait a minute, we need some help here?
Well, I have to credit it with myself and 5 other gentlemen.
All right.
We had all met at various events years ago, and we were all fathers. Several of us were already working in the system. Some of us were single parents.
And what system was that?
The mental health system.
There we go.
The developmental disabilities, you know, various child serving systems.
Right.
And all of us that met notated there were not enough of us, men like
Dads.
us, working in the system.
Yes.
It was almost entirely female. As I said, several of us had been single fathers. One of our founders was raising his grandkids.
My goodness. So, Nelson, tell the audience what Dad's Move does. What does it provide to our city?
So what we are is we're a unique creature. We're a family support organization. So we've always worked with both moms and dads, but most organizations like ours were started by moms, mostly serve moms and have a mom perspective.
And would it be safe to say that you deal with neurodivergent children?
Yes.
Okay, so we want to start there. Okay, good. So that is because typically neurodivergent children, the mom sometimes has the majority of the lion's share of taking care of this precious child.
Yes.
And sometimes because moms make it look easy and we're used to dealing with children, the dads get the, I'm too busy, go over there, or you're busy working, you can't help me. And Dad's Move changes that, doesn't it?
Yes. All of us that started the group believed strongly that fathers need to be involved.
Yes.
That the system needs to be more responsive to fathers to encourage them to be more involved. And this is especially important if you have a child that has disabilities.
Yes.
It's very taxing. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. You have school appointments, you have doctor's appointments. And for one parent to have to do all that is exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brian, what programs do you offer?
I currently work with the peer support specialist part with the dads with the children with neurodivergencies, and then we also work with we have a program for parents with children with DD services. So I don't work in that department, but I do the other part with the dads and the neurodivergency. But we offer that, and then the DDA part, and then
What does DDA stand for?
oh, Department of Developmental Disabilities.
Okay, there we go.
And so that's what we do primarily right now. So that's what and I work with the one side, which is the dads.
And where are you located? Where are these dads getting
So
this?
my group, I work with the Pierce County group, but we're located with a footprint in the state in King, Pierce, Thurston, Grays Harbor, Mason, Okanagan, and Spokane counties.
Wow!
Yeah, and we can go anywhere in the state, but because due to our grant funding, but I'm just located primarily here in Pierce County is what I cover.
And most of your referrals come from the state and cities.
Right, yeah, they come from state, cities, teachers, self-referrals. Yeah, those, yeah.
I love that. So let's talk about how do we get dads plugged into this? How do you get new members in? How do you look at someone and say, I think I have a service that would help you?
Well, a lot of times we get, like I said, the referral comes from another provider, or it comes from a school system or something like that, and then they'll say, hey, reach out, call these people, or they'll fill out a referral form, and then we'll call them and make contact with them. And then when we make the contact, we're like, hey, this is who we are. We're here to offer support. We're parents who've been there, done that. Are you interested in our services? And usually they are. Usually they want to talk to us, and they want to hear our ideas and hear our support that we can offer them. And so that's what I do. I go out and I meet with them usually once a week, and I talk to them on the phone or virtually.
Oh, good to know that.
Yeah, and so I can talk to them virtually or on the phone or in person, and I talk to them and say, okay, so what are you struggling with this week? How did this go last week? Did you try this new technique? Did you try this? Are you needing any referrals for any resources? Those kind of things. And do you need any advocacy? Because that's the other thing. We'll go with them to meetings, for IEP meetings if the schools aren't meeting the needs. We'll go to DDA with them if they're not getting their service hours met. We'll go to different things and advocate for them to get their services met if they're not.
So you basically provide the map.
Yes.
And say, we're going to walk you through this because
Yes.
there are resources that you need to know about.
Yes.
When we think about how those dads come to you and then start talking, because Brian, what you described is so intimate with dads. What do we expect these dads to learn, Brian?
I hope that they learn that they're not alone, and that there's lots of dads out there with the same situation. And there's lots of families out there with their similar situations. It's not, they're not alone, and there's just lots of other people out there that are going through the same thing, and that they're all here to benefit them. And we're all here to support them and benefit them and give them the knowledge and advice and help them walk through, like you said, that map that we've all been through. And
Yes.
say, here's the map. You're not alone. We'll guide you on the map, because it is so confusing. There's so many different doors to go through, and we'll help you try to find the right doors to get through to get to the end goal.
I feel like I'm on a game of chutes and ladders right now.
Yes.
It's like, whoo, you can go this way.
Yes.
So, Nelson, let's talk about common problems that are brought to this group, or that you have dads bring up. So what is a common problem that you hear often? And also, Brian, I want you to chime in on that as well.
Well, unfortunately, a common problem we have is actually moms coming to us who are trying to get their significant other more involved.
Okay.
That's a huge problem. Another problem is, and I know this personally, having been a single father, men that are involved struggle connecting with the system, because the system is, quite frankly, built to serve moms.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have a lot of fathers that have come to us that feel lost. They don't feel that they're served properly, because, again, they're trying to navigate a system that wasn't built to work with them.
Yeah. Brian, what do you see?
I see a lot of it with the dads is that they don't know how to always necessarily connect with their children on some of the levels, because the mom's been doing so much of the connecting and providing those services, and now we're asking dad to step up and help provide those services as well in that connection, and they don't know how to connect with their child on that level. Like, I don't know how to connect with them. I don't know what to say to them.
Right.
When I do talk to them, I get a blank stare, because they don't, what does that blank stare mean? It's like, well, they're listening to you, but that's just they have that neurodivergency, so where they're blank. So yeah.
I love that incredible information, because many of these dads, this is the first time they have ever talked about their neurodivergent child, because they're so busy with this child. Like when you were a single parent, you didn't have time to crack the code and say, are there any groups around here? Because
Right.
you were busy taking care of your child.
Absolutely.
And that was your life. If you could make a list, Nelson, of partners that you would love to partner with, who would they be?
Well, first and foremost, other similar nonprofit organizations like ours, social services, DCYF, DSHS, the court system.
Yep.
jails, which we're working on right now. Anyone that also serves families or particularly fathers, we want to work with them.
That's good. So what's on that want list, that wish list?
Biggest thing for me as a wish list is an office space that we
Okay.
can get some, even if it's a shared office space for a couple hours a week. And definitely that's what I would look forward to, because most of us work from home, which is great. I love working from home. But my husband's like, get out, I want you to get out of the house. So he's like, I'm tired of seeing you so much, get out of the house.
Get out of the house, honey.
Primarily, I've always worked from out of the home primarily, but he's loved having me home, but he wants me to get out of the house now a little bit. So the office space would be my biggest wish list probably, and getting some more private grants and foundations to give us some income and funding would be great. So that way we have some flexibility with the dollars.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Last 30 seconds, Nelson. Who do we need to thank?
Well, the two people that come to mind when this was asked was one, my wife,
Yes.
who has backed me, for 12 years now?
All right.
Most of it unpaid,
Okay.
volunteer, and
Okay.
then probably one of our other founders, Steve Williams, who passed away in December.
Yes, yes. Oh, I loved him. He was incredible. Okay. I want to say thank you, but it doesn't feel like it's good enough to say thank you for all that you do, this organization does, all the dads that you help guide and instill love and wisdom into, and also build them back up and send them back out there to be the best they can be for their children. So thank you so much. And I want to see you sooner than later, all right?
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, Christian Page will be in the house. He is Tacoma's Poet Laureate. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.